Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Hola, buenos dias, bonjour, buongiorno. Great to be with you all today. Thank you for joining. It's been a while. I think we missed December, but I hope everybody had a great holiday season and are ready for all the great things that are happening in 2023. I got to say, what an awesome video, Tatiana. Thank you for the choice of video, and Silvio. If that video of the Toscana, in particular Costa Toscana, doesn't make you want to get on a cruise right away, check your pulse, because it's amazing. Flying the waters, the salt room, the archipelago, specialty dining, all the great features and places to hang out on the ship. The peekaboo shower. Did you guys catch that in there? That's definitely unique on the cruise ships for sure. But anyway, great video. Look, again, welcome. I want to give a special shout out to all of our translators and moderators. Thank you so much. We have so many of you. I'm sure it's hard to keep up with some of us that like to talk too fast or say words that are not translated well. So my apologies in advance, but I hope everybody can hear me and can understand me. So, Iri, if you would tee up the slides for me. Be great. Okay, this is the January edition of the Insider Advantage. And before I proceed with today's content, I just want to give a very serious advice to all of our members and partners out there. Over the last couple weeks, we've had a pretty difficult situation with individuals who are traveling or have traveled to board their ship, their cruise vacation that they've used their membership points and have, looked forward to for some time, are being turned away because of visa issues. So I want to caution everybody out there about where you get your information on required visas for entry into the port of embarkation where you board the ship, as well as any visas needed for the ports of call that you might visit on your voyage. So unfortunately, we've had a lot of people, and when I say a lot, I mean hundreds, that are met with some severe disappointment with not being able to take their cruise as planned, or having their cruise denied, like you can't get on the ship. So be very, very careful. Do not get your visa information, your visa requirement information from social media. I repeat, do not depend on social media to get your required visa information. We lost the slides. But, and then in particular, something like Facebook, right? That is not an official site for the government regulations of visas. Do not get your information from a partner within inCruises. They're not qualified to give you visa information. Do not get your information from other members who have been on that cruise before. It's just there's one place to get your information, and that is the consulate, or embassy of the resident country or citizenship country of where you hold your passport. That's it. It's the only place. And give them the itinerary, and you can find out what visa information is travel. For example, me in USA, I will go to travel.state.gov to find out where, if I'm traveling internationally, what are my documentation and visa requirements. Please do the same. If for some reason you can't find that information, and I don't want everybody flooding support, but we can try and help navigate. So, contact us in the support area, and we can provide you with some direction on where to go. We're not going to provide you a visa, that's for sure. And we're not going to have the cruise line provide you a visa, that's for sure. You need to go to your consulate. Visas are a requirement in many cases for individuals to get on the cruise. We've gotten past a lot of the restrictions. Now it's visas, and you've got to pay attention to it. Visa never came up because you couldn't book a cruise during COVID, during restrictions. So please pay close attention to that. So that's it. That's all I'll say about the serious stuff. And let's get to some of the good content that we have planned for you today. Okay, so welcome to 2023. And by the way, our media team and Tatiana, I really appreciate you putting some images of our partners and members into our presentations. It's great not to use stock videos and stock footage, using our family, our inCruises family. I love it. So thank you. Look, I think we're all, no matter whether it's inCruises or whatever you've done in your past, when the new year rolls around, we all look forward to kind of a fresh start, a new start. And that's what 2023 is bringing to us. We have a lot of exciting things planned. I hope that some of, at least on the partner side and on our membership side, you've seen some of the content that was put together by our executive team for what's coming in 2023, because we're excited about it, and we want you to be excited about it. It's going to be a great year, a banner year. It will most likely, or should be absolutely, the best year we've ever had in inCruises. Why? Well, one of the reasons why is inStays, right? We started the inStays, aka hotels, in the spring of 2022. And it was a gradual start. We started with only roughly 5,000 hotels. So in some parts of the world, you may have been disappointed because where you were searching, there really wasn't a robust, a good, a plentiful choice of properties to choose from. But as of today, I'm happy to say we have over 180,000 hotels and resorts all over the world in our inStays portfolio for you to choose from. And that's only going to get better. We are contracted with a couple other providers, and they will be integrated soon, which will bring us to well over 350,000 unique properties all over the world. Will also bring us more choices when it comes in terms of the property of different room types and more competitive pricing. So look forward to introducing those to you in the coming weeks. I want to reemphasize that we have a price match guarantee, right? So look, we all know that the inStays product is great to have in our ecosystem, right? So we got into inCruises because we want to save money, we want to travel more affordably, we want to be part of a community of like minds, and we've really hit that on all marks. And the inStays product has a different point usage than the cruise product. We all recognize that. It's still savings. It's significant savings. Sometimes I see hundreds, approaching $1,000 in savings in our bookings that we're getting every day. So understand that the usage is different, but embrace it. There's so many good reasons why to use an inStay product. The price match guarantee is one of them. If you find that there's a better price out there when you've booked, we will match the price and refund you the difference. Use it. We had a pretty decent take up of this price match guarantee through our support team when we first launched, but almost nobody's using it anymore. It's there for a reason. Use it. Book with confidence. It doesn't matter which hotel and inStays you booked. You are eligible for a price match guarantee. So please exercise that. We want to help you. We want to ensure that you have the best. It will be at least the same as the lowest price out there. It will not always be better, but at least the same. And then it becomes better because you used reward points. Why book? I mean, well, I think we all enjoy resorts, all inclusives. Sometimes we just need a place to sleep. Sometimes that's at the very last minute. Sometimes that's ahead of getting to our cruise port of embarkation, or when we get off the ship. We can't line up our flights until the next day. So there's reasons why we need an inStay. It's a good pairing with a cruise. In fact, I'd love to, I think you should know that 60% or more of the bookings that are made with inStays are, from the data we're seeing, are attached to a cruise, right? Many of you, and I'll speak to many of the Kazakhs, for example, right? You are in a destination that you have to fly to get to your cruise. You can't get in a car and drive like people in Florida or Texas. You have to get on a flight. Flights don't always line up. So you need a cruise. You need an inStay before your cruise, right? So, inStays gives options to book a pairing with a cruise that's necessary or is optional. Maybe you just want to see the port of embarkation. You can't think of when you travel to Dubai to get on a cruise and you arrive the day of the cruise or even the night before, you have no real opportunity to experience the destination as embarkation. You have opportunity to experience the ports of call, but if you want to experience the embarkation or disembarkation port, book an inStay because it'll allow you the time to do that. There are other reasons, right? We've all experienced flight delays. We've experienced weather delays with our flights, or whether we're taking a train. Maybe there's a strike. I mean, things happen. So, I mean, it's a good practice to come in a day before, especially if you're traveling across many time zones. Let your body adjust in that 24-hour period. Get a good night's rest. If your luggage is separated from you, gives you an opportunity for your luggage to catch up to you, right? So there's multiple reasons why a hotel, and in our world, an inStay, makes good sense to attach to your cruise. And for many of you, maybe the cruise isn't right. You don't want to do that cruise to that destination again. So you want to go experience it, immerse yourself into a city capital, or you want to immerse yourself into a beach resort, an island beach resort. Sounds good. Some new features that we have that we introduced in December. So really, since the last time we spoke about inStays, hopefully you've seen them. We have maps. Maps are in the right at the homepage. So when you search all the map of that destination that you've searched for, um, sorry, I'm getting a few texts here. Can you hear me? Can I get a thumbs up from in the chat box from people that can hear me? Yes, yes, yes. Good. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Sorry for the diversion. Anyway, the maps, they show up. So and it's important. I mean, you play around with it, right? Get used to how to use it, because initially the maps will come up, and if you're in a destination that's or searching a destination that's got 300, 400 properties to choose from, you're going to see in that map, and I'm going to show you in a minute, that it's going to list the hotels in certain neighborhoods, the number of hotels. But you can drill down and see the actual hotels in our neighborhood, or you can click in the list of hotels. You can click an icon, and you can see exactly where that hotel is located. Most um, long-standing, powerful booking engines for hotel products out there have maps, and we now have maps. It was just a matter of time before we could integrate that. We, in December, back down that window from your search to when you can check into the hotel to 10 days. We're thinking about doing it further. No longer do you have to book in 30 days in advance. I recognized, and your management team recognized that, sometimes you're not sure about when you can go until inside of 30 days. Even if you have a cruise book, you're not sure, a lot of people, I think, since the pandemic and, the shutdown period that we experienced in 2020 and 2021, and even parts of 2022, left us hesitant to really make definitive plans until closer into service date of the cruise or the hotel. So now you can book inside of 30 days. And I'm happy to say, I think it was a great move. And we are seeing more than 50% of our bookings with inStays, you are booking inside of 30 days. So that's awesome. And we will continue to monitor that. And if we can continue to get that closer to check-in date, I don't think we'll ever do same-day bookings. That's ripe for having some check-in challenges. But we can get really close to it. And I think we will. A visual on how to use inStays. So I just want to point out a couple of features. Erie, is it possible for me to maybe I'll just use this here, right? This is a good idea rather than switch out of the slides and go live into the booking engine. But so this is the home page. You're actually not seeing this map when you navigate to the inStays booking platform. You'll see a bunch of tiles, and those tiles right now are some predefined searches for a destination like Miami, right? Like Barcelona, like Dubai, like Abu Dhabi, and so on. So you can drill down on one of those tiles, or like I do, I control my own search, right? I want to get as quickly as I can to the properties I want. So let me get my little marker right here in destination. This is the first piece that we do. So you can put in a city or you can sometimes put in a region. And we have an auto fill. So as you start typing, it will usually pick up several cities or regions and then choose the correct one, right? The more finite you can make it, the better experience that you'll have with the choice of hotels and the map usage. Again, the more finite, specific you can make the city, then you'll have a better experience on finding a hotel quickly. So then the second thing is choosing the dates, right? Here. So there's a default that pops up, and that default up until this point has been 10 days out, right? The 10 days from the date that of today's date, and then for a 3-night stay. So now, but you can change that, and I recommend you put your own dates. Don't just skip over it because most people aren't going exactly 10 days from today. So put in the date range, right? And then you have control here of the number of guests, and it's important to use that. The default is 2. That's the most common. But you can actually put in multiple, if you have 3 in there, do that because there's going to be room types that do not accommodate 3, right? Or 4. You don't want to show up at a Hilton hotel that's got a king bed and you have 3 or 4 people there. It's just not going to work, right? So it's important to put that in there and you get the right room types. So once you search, and these other things are default. It's blank on the hotel name. It's going to be the highest stars first, right? The best hotels first. You can filter a price range, but my recommendation is you do the city, where you want to go, when do you want to go, what type of room do you need based on the number of guests. Search, right? Boom, hit the search button. Then you're going to get a list like you see here, right? And I know it's small. Hopefully you can read it, especially those of you that are on a mobile device. But for example, in this dense destination in Barcelona, you can see in the downtown area of Barcelona right here, there's 499 properties that are in there. You can click on that. It'll zoom in. The map will zoom in and show you other neighborhoods. And then you can keep zooming in until you get down to a single property. Or from the list here, and you can change the sort if you want to sort lowest price to highest price, or you want to do the reverse, highest price, or you want to sort alpha, you can do that. Or you can start typing a hotel name and it will wildcard. So if I'm going to type in, if I want to see the Mandarin Oriental, I can start typing MAND and Mandarin Oriental Mandarin will populate, right? And then it'll automatically, once you select it, filter down to those hotels that have the letters MAND. But if you want to see on where it is on the map, because this is not, you're too the zoom out is too cumbersome. Right here, this little button here, right? It's the icon of location. We see it all the time on our phones and our social media and so on. If you click on that, it's going to take you right to the hotel and the price of the hotel there. So in this case, it's just an example, 110. It's not the right hotel, but this is a still screenshot and not an active app. So it's a great tool to figure out. I mean, who wants to book a hotel? They think it's on the beach and it's not. It's deep in the city center. It's way outside the city center. You can get a good feel right from the inStay platform on the location of the properties that you're looking at. You're not having to open another browser and go Google the hotel and figure out where it is. You can do that now right inside of inStays. And then, I'll just touch on board bases here. Board base is the type of meal plan that you have, right? So we have rooms that are room only, and it says it right in the description. We have some room and rate plans so if you want breakfast, many people do, you can book a bed and breakfast rate type. If you're going to Cabo San Lucas, you're going to Cancun, you may want all-inclusive because there's many properties there that are all-inclusive. So choose the rate plans that are all-inclusive. So lots of options in here. to do it. And the best thing to do is, take a few minutes and play around with it. Don't wait till you're trying to make a booking. Let's go play around with it now and figure out how to navigate. We're always here to help if you need help. And if there's things that, don't work, let us know. It's important. We want to fix these. Sometimes the best way to hear about that is from the users, right? The users. Okay, Tati, I think I will throw the destination portion over to you as our destination expert. Welcome. Good morning. Hope you're doing great.
Morning, everyone. Thank you, Steve, so much. Can everybody hear me? Give me some thumbs up. Can everyone hear me? Everything is great. Hi, everyone. So excited to see and hear everyone in 2023. This is a new year and new exciting features that come to inCruises, they come to inStays. And of course, we get more and more opportunities to travel around the world. And I'm actually super excited about our today's presenter. I'm going to introduce him in just a few seconds. But this part of the presentation, I would love us to interact a little bit. I'm going to take 5 minutes to talk about top 10 destinations for, as we call it, the first quarter of 2023, for the remaining winter and spring of 2023. And while I mention those top 10 destinations, could you please write in the chat box what cruises or travels or resorts you already have booked, and what countries and destinations you would love to visit in 2023. So please don't hesitate. Share with us some exciting travel agendas that you already have, while I'm telling you about the next top 10 destinations for 2023 fall, winter and spring. So the number one is still United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, the whole Persian Gulf. A lot of our members go to these beautiful destinations. A lot of our members go on a cruise from Dubai to Qatar to Abu Dhabi. So this is definitely one of the most popular destinations. Number two is Barcelona. Barcelona is my favorite city in the world. I absolutely love this place. You can go to Barcelona over and over again, and every time you visit, there will be something new that you see. We also have a lot of cruises, especially in the Western Mediterranean, going out of Barcelona. So do not hesitate to book your inStays for 3, 4, 5 a week before going on your cruise or past your cruise. Civitavecchia, Rome. Now, this is very important. Do not forget that some of the ports are not located in the city, but outside the city. Now, Civitavecchia is the port city of Rome. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly to all of my Italians. So if you're cruising out of Civitavecchia, stay for a few days in Rome, explore the Eternal City. It is so beautiful, and exactly, there's so much to see. Dominican Republic, we just went for our Global Leadership Summit. It was absolutely incredible. We stayed in Casa de Campo in La Romana in the Dominican Republic. Those of you who were there, we know how incredibly amazing it was. But if you've never been to the Caribbean, this is definitely a great destination. There are a lot of flights coming from Europe and Asia, so you can visit Dominican Republic even without going on the cruise and stay there for a week. Enjoy beautiful beaches, enjoy their culture, music, food. It is absolutely incredible. Doha, Qatar. Qatar just boomed out of nowhere in 2022 with the World Cup, with FIFA. Congratulations to all of our Argentinians who won the World Cup. But Doha, Qatar is definitely one of the most prominent destinations in 2023. I have just received my new issue of Condé Nast magazine that was entirely dedicated to this destination. And I was reading about the incredible museums and restaurants and neighborhoods that you can visit in Doha, and that is definitely on my list. Genova, Italy is a beautiful city, but it's also a port to go cruising. So if you're staying in Genova for a few days, you can visit Cinque Terre, you can visit Florence, you can visit Pisa, you can go to Milan. So definitely recommend staying there for a few days before your cruise to explore the northern Italy and the area of Liguria. I hope Antonella is correcting me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm a professional Italian. So I love those destinations for the food and for all the beautiful things that you can see around it. Saudi Arabia is definitely rising up. We already have a lot of bookings and a lot of our members are staying in Jeddah. And again, the culture of this region is so unique, and we strongly encouraging all of you to visit this beautiful country. Miami, this is where I got my master's degree. I love Miami. Miami is the gateway to a lot of Caribbean cruises, and you definitely need a few days to explore it because it's a massive city. You can go to South Beach, you can go to Wynwood for Artistic District, you can go to Key West from Miami, you can explore the downtown, Brickell City Center, South Beach, go clubbing. Miami is Miami, so definitely take advantage and spend a few days in Miami before or after your cruise. We have a lot of cruises nowadays going out of Safaga and Sokna. And and because of that, we encourage you to maybe spend a few days in Egypt before your cruise. Here you can stay in Cairo, you can go to Giza, you can see the pyramids, you can go to Luxor, you can stay in Hurghada or Sharm el Sheikh, you can go diving, you can spend some days on the beach, because when you're on the cruise, every day is so fast and hectic. So take advantage of a few days of relaxation before getting on the cruise. And of course, number 10 is San Juan, Puerto Rico, where our headquarters are, where all of our Puerto Ricans here. Definitely an amazing destination with beautiful culture, incredible cuisine. If you want to go dance salsa in the old city, if you want to see the incredible forts, beautiful beaches, beautiful rainforests. There is so much to do in Puerto Rico. So definitely take advantage of this destination. And now we will continue our participation, and I will host a little inStays trivia. So guys, please pay attention. I will have a few questions to make sure that you were very attentive, that you were listening to Steve, that you were listening to me. Whoever gets the most points will get a special prize. I'll have to decide what it's going to be, but here we go. Question number 1. When did we launch inStays? Please write 1, 2, or 3. Was it in January 16th, 2016? Was it right now, just a few days ago in winter 2023? Or was it in spring 2022, so about a year ago? Who knows? When did we launch? April 1st, number 1, spring 20. Wow, you guys are on point. Look at that. That is correct. Spring 2022. We are making this feature better and better, but we launched about a year ago. Good job. Question number 2. How many hotels and resorts can our members choose from? Is it 5,000 properties? Is it 100,000 properties? Or is it over 180,000 hotels and resorts? We see your messages. Number 3. Yes, we have over 180,000 hotels, and we're getting more and more and more every day. So soon, as Steve said, we will have over 300,000 properties, hotels, resorts to choose from. What is a price match guarantee? We have this special price match guarantee for our inStays, for our hotel rooms, resorts that you book. Does inStays match the price of your cruise? Does inStay guarantees the best price on your hotels and resorts? Or does inStays guarantee the category of your room? So if you book, let's say, a suite with all-inclusive, that means that you will get suite and all-inclusive. Here we go. Amazing. And the correct answer is 2. Yes, we guarantee the best price. That means that you will pay the best price for your hotel. What is the minimum length of time to departure which inStays can be booked? So for example, today is January 25th. How early can I book my hotel? Would it be in 10 days? So February 5th or so? Would it be 30 days, a month? So February 25th, 26th? Or is it 90 days, so 3 months out? 10 days, 30 days, or 90 days? Yes, we have just reduced the time to 10 days. So today you can book your hotels, your resorts, your travels for the end of January, for beginning of February. So only 10 days. And that's an incredible feature that gives you more opportunities to plan your vacation. And the last questions. I hope you were listening very carefully. If your ship departs from Civitavecchia, which city should you book your hotel in? So if you are cruising from Civitavecchia or Civi, how we call it, are you going to stay in Rome, in Naples, or in Athens? Look at you guys. Rome. Somebody's going to stay in Rome. It is Rome. It is the port of Rome. It's about an hour away, so definitely do a research how to get to the port. But Civi is the gateway of the city of Rome. And the last question. What is one of the wonders of the world that you can visit before you departure from Sokna port? So remember, Sokna port, which country it is in. So what can you see there? Can you see Dubai Mall? It is a wonder of the world, right? It's a modern wonder of the world. Is it Pyramids of Giza? Or is it Petra UNESCO Heritage Site? Dubai Mall, Pyramids, or Petra? Let's see. And also let me know if you have been to these places, if you have been to Dubai Mall, or you've seen Pyramids, or you've seen Petra. Oh, here I have different answers. I have 1s and 2s and 3s. 3, 1, 2, pyramids, both. Well, technically yes, but the correct answer is Pyramids of Giza, because it is in not far from Cairo. If you are cruising out of Egypt, you definitely want to stay an extra day to see the pyramids. But those of you who had said Petra, that is also kind of correct, because on this cruise you will be able to see Petra. So thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this little travel trivia. We love to do those. Don't forget that we have our cruise spotlights, our travel blogs that we prepare for you to share our passion for traveling. And now, without further ado, I would like to introduce our presenter for today. And we are very excited to have him on our Insider Advantage webinar. Please give a warm welcome to Silvio. He is the superstar who will be telling you everything about Costa Cruises. He is the Director of Strategic Partnerships, and we are so excited to have him here. So please give him all the hearts, all the thumbs up. Silvio, we are so excited and we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Superstar, I don't know, but what you see is what you get. I'm just kidding. I'm going to try to live up to that. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, Skidge. Thank you, everybody. It's great to see you again. It has been a while. So I want to wish everybody, hope everybody had a good holiday and Happy New Year to everybody. I will say that is my official last Happy New Year, but I figure what better time to say it than in front of the thousands of inCruises members from around the world. Happy New Year to everybody. And we do have a lot of great things to talk about moving forward. So I want to talk about the new Costa. We are going to do some review of Costa's enhancements that have been put in place during the relaunch. Let me see if I can change this this background. It looks a little weird to me. Hold on. Sorry, kind of cutting me off there at the. We'll do this instead. There we go. Anyway, it's the mountains in the background. That way, there was kind of like a black thing in the corner there. So yeah, I've been at Costa now. It's going to be 17 years, and I've seen a lot of great things happen in the cruise industry. A lot of great things happen at Costa, but this relaunch is really something that I've had a chance to experience. Skidge, you've had a chance to experience more than once. I think maybe 3 times, 2 or 3 times, at least twice. Once with me, I know. So I'll also talk about my experience on Costa last year. Let's get right to it. So our new message, Costa's been around for a very long time. We've been sailing in the Mediterranean for over 70 years. But this year, with the relaunch, we really took a step back and said, what do we want to be about when we re-enter the market? So our new message is, who are we? We are the spokespeople for enrichment through exploration. And what we do is we allow you to explore local cultures through a unique sea and land experience. As I said, we've been sailing in the Mediterranean for over 70 years, so we know it better than anybody. It's our home. We want to bring our home to you when you sail with Costa around the world. Being the international line of Carnival Corporation, we certainly can do that. And how do we do that? Through enrichment, through exploration. And we'll talk about that moving forward. So our 3 key pillars of the new Costa are, we want to offer the longest stopovers and the most authentic excursions, the highest quality food, and the most sustainable ships. Those are our 3 key pillars of the new Costa. So we'll talk about excursions first. We offer excursions that are unique and allow you to do things in port that you would not be able to do with any other line. In every port, we want to offer you the longest stays, not just a quick tour. We really want to do things that take you to the heart of the destination, really allow you to explore that destination and the traditions, flavors, colors, all the culture that those destinations offer. In addition to that, we want to take you to hidden gems, discover small villages, places that are off the beaten path, places that are not known to others other than Costa, because we know that region so well. For example, on the Toscana cruise that I did in June of last year, we all went in Savona to Finalborgo and Noli, these 2 medieval villages that really nobody had ever heard of. But it turned out to be one of the highlights of the cruise because it was so unique. And when you take an excursion with Costa, it's worry-free. You get priority access in certain destinations, certain locations. Our tour experts have the expertise, the knowledge to really show you that destination. You take advantage of our confidence and logistical know-how. And the ship knows that you're on an excursion with us. So, should something happen, the ship knows to wait for you. So those are all the reasons to book an excursion with Costa. Not to mention that on certain excursions and certain itineraries, we are going to be featuring excursions with National Geographic. And National Geographic, although we cannot advertise it publicly in many countries around the world, we can speak about it, and you will see the National Geographic excursions when you book your excursion choices. And obviously National Geographic, photographers, historians, cultural experts, professors, they really bring the best of the best to really enrich the passengers experience when you're able to book a National Geographic cruise, excursion, I should say. So it is early morning here. I haven't had anything to eat yet, but this is the part of the presentation where everybody gets a little hungry. We do have some great new dining options available on board. Teppanyaki, Asian live cooking show. We also have a great sushi bistro and kikipoki. Believe it or not, the Sushino bistro on board Costa, I was able to experience it on Toscana. It's actually really, really good sushi. The Heineken bar and bistro is a great location. One of our featured venues on board that take advantage of certain partnerships that we have with Europe's leading brands. Salty Beach Cafe is a beach shack. I'll show you where that's located later in the presentation. And of course, if you're hungry late at night, you can always get late night treats, late night snacks, late night sweets, because we, being a European cruise line, do tend to be up later than a lot of other cruises around the world. You know, late seating is late as 9 or 9:30 on a Costa cruise. And while that does sound late, it does give you time when you're in port, taking advantage of the longer day in port, to come back to the ship and not have to rush to dinner right away. However, main seating is available at 7:30, and those are the seating times in the main dining room. Obviously, the specialty dining experiences are available at the time of your choice. And the range of pricing for these specialty dining experiences ranges anywhere from 10 to 15 euros all the way up to about 50 euros. And we'll talk about that 50 euro dining experience next. Or soon, I should say. So let's talk more about the food. We actually had Bruno Barbieri. He's an Italian chef. He helped to recreate our menus a few years ago. He's a Michelin star rated chef. And then new for 2022 and 23, we actually had Hélène Darroze from France and Ángel León from Spain, who joined Bruno Barbieri to help recreate our menus fleet-wide, and also to create an exclusive dining menu that we'll talk about. The destination dishes are dishes that each chef creates the night before you arrive in a certain port. They'll take turns creating dishes that celebrate the culinary tradition, the ingredients, the region, the culture of the food of the port that you're going to visit next. And sustainability, as I mentioned, being very important, we really do try to partner with local producers, local produce, local products in order to support the communities that we visit. So it's an authentic experience for the port that you're going to visit. And some examples of the destination dishes. This is the part of the presentation where I feel like I'm a maitre d', or giving you the specials. So, for example, the night before you get to Marseille, Bruno Barbieri will present ratatouille with sea bass meatballs and potatoes with aioli sauce, very representative of that part of France. Hélène Darroze will present Palermo, beef medallion with Sicilian couscous and saffron, the south of Italy being very rustic, very farm-oriented cuisine. And then Ángel León, who's Spanish, he specializes in seafood, but in this case, because he's representing Palma de Mallorca, which is also very much a farming community, if you will, roasted pork, sweet potato puree, and sobrasada being the equivalent of like a Spanish prosciutto. So these are examples of the destination dishes. Not only do I want you to get examples of the destination dishes, but I want you to see an example of what our menus look like, because when people think Italian, oftentimes they think more Southern Italian cuisine, and our food is really representative of both North and South Italy, which is somewhat different. And then these three expert Michelin star-rated chefs created the Archipelago restaurant. I've dined in the Archipelago restaurant. I know Skids did as well. I have to say, this for 50 euros, this is a tasting menu, fine dining, exclusive restaurant that also you can get with wine pairings. It's about a 5 or 6 course meal, dinner, and it was just spectacular. Archipelago means literally a chain of islands, and that your table becomes your kind of regional your location, your island, which the mise en place and the preparation and the waiter really explains to you where each where the ingredients came from, what part of the world they came from, what went into the preparation. It really is an incredible experience. Each of the chefs has taken a turn creating different menus. So there's a menu from Angel Leon, a menu from Bruno Barbieri, and a menu from Lenda Rose. You can choose which of the chefs you want to sample. Everybody doesn't have to have the same menu. It's it's really a fun experience. People tried stuff off of different courses, off of different plates. It was it was really, really fun. It's a long experience. It's a fine dining tasting menu, so you're looking at about 2.5 hours. The portions are incredible. Yes, Steve. I mean, it was amazing. I think you were lucky enough to do it twice. I'm jealous. But yeah, it really is an experience unlike I've seen anywhere else in the cruise industry. And for 50 euros, I mean, I've seen experiences of this quality go for well over $150, which is now equivalent to 150 euros. So I can't stress enough what an incredible experience it is. And the Archipelago restaurant is being rolled out throughout the fleet. I highly encourage you, when you're on a Costa cruise, to please take advantage of the Archipelago restaurant. Here are some images of the restaurant. All of the sustainability that we talked about, all of this, there's all repurposed driftwood taken back from the ocean and repurposed to be used as a decor on the ship. All of the chandeliers there, believe it or not, are repurposed plastics from the ocean. So also a portion of the proceeds from that 50 euro cover charge will go to Guardians of the Coast, which is a organization that is responsible for maintaining the shorelines along and the oceans along the Italian coast clean. So again, going back to that sustainability aspect that I mentioned before, it's a very small, intimate, luxury, high-end experience. You can see there, I would say the restaurant holds maybe 150 people, just over about 100 to 150 people at the most. It's a very, like I mentioned, exclusive experience. Spectacular is a really good word. It really was incredible. I still think about it. I still have my card that I took with me that shows you how many miles you traveled. They tell you where each ingredient came from, where each course was made, and what region it was inspired by. Really, I can't say enough about it. There's an image of the Archipelago restaurant looking forward toward the entrance. So again, I really encourage you to take advantage of the Archipelago when you're on board. Entertainment, let's talk about a few numbers. I'm a numbers guy. 13,156 seats in our theaters across the fleet, over 12,000 square feet of LED walls. And I'll talk about how they use those LED walls on board. 180 musicians. We have a lot of great music on board: electronic dance music, classical music, opera music, jazz, live music, DJ music, all kinds of really amazing music on board. 108 dancers and 58 acrobats across the fleet. And you may ask yourself, well, where do the acrobats come in on our entertainment? Our entertainment is very internationally oriented, so everybody can enjoy it no matter where they're from around the world. It really is an incredible experience. I have to say, I always say this in every presentation, but I really do mean it, because I was just on one of our ships in La Romana. And when I'm on board, I am always impressed, very impressed with how our crew and our entertainers from around the world really are so well versed in our 6 official languages: English, Italian, German, Spanish, French, and Portuguese. That's a lot, that they are able to really interact and provide quality service to all of our guests and quality entertainment to all of our guests, no matter where they're from in the world or what language they speak. And I have to say, it's really impressive because, I feel like Tatiana was giving a plug to my home city. I'm from Miami. I'm in Miami right now. And it is a very international city, obviously with a very Latin nod, if you will. But, I used to wait tables, and I'm constantly, I know how hard it is to provide good service. We all know. And they just do such an amazing job of doing that. In spite of the language barrier, it almost becomes like a feature that is really brings Costa to a level that no other cruise line can provide. Here you see some images of the entertainment on board. You can see on the right the traditional review numbers, if you will. You can see the classical musicians. And then those are the acrobats that I was talking about on the left. So on our newer ships, Smeralda and Toscana, I'll give a little break for the interpreters to catch up. They told me to just try to slow down if I could. I hope my pace is okay. You can see there the acrobats. That's El Coliseo, literally means the Colosseum. That is the atrium on board our newer ships. But it's not only an atrium with shops and lounges and coffee bars. It also becomes a theater in the round, an entertainment venue. And those LED walls, even during the day, they're presenting different images. It's surrounded by LED walls. There are LED walls in the ceiling. And then at night, they have acrobats. They have like an acrobatic Cirque du Soleil type of show with acrobats dropping from the ceiling. Even the rehearsals were well attended. I mean, I have to tell you, it's a really great experience. The Colosseum really becomes the heartbeat of the ship. Not only in terms of a gathering place, but also in terms of one of the entertainment venues. It's a really nice alternative to the traditional theater, which we also have on board. So I was thinking the same thing when Skidge mentioned the video. If that doesn't make it made me want to cruise again. So that video was featuring the Costa Toscana, but I thought I would take a little bit of time to go over some of the key features of the Costa Toscana that you may have seen in the video. Here's an example of the cabin on board the Costa Toscana. This is a veranda cabin. You can see all the way in the back there is the balcony, the sliding glass door for the balcony. And all the ships feature Murano glass, all stem to stern. All the glasswork on board is Murano glass. So even that right there in your cabin. It's really incredible. This is the aft pool. And in spite of these ships on the Western Mediterranean, Tatiana mentioned out of Barcelona and Rome, we're talking about big ships, 5,000, 5,500 passengers. But the ships are really well designed. So even though you're on board with 5,000 people, there's a lot, even in this space, you can see there's a lot of different areas that you can escape to where you feel like you're out of the crowd. You don't feel like you're surrounded by people all the time. The ship flows very well. And there's a lot of nooks and crannies, a lot of spaces that you can escape to, which you don't feel like the crowds. This is the aft pool. The Salty Beach Cafe, which is kind of like a beach shack featuring really high quality sandwiches, salads, so that if you're by the pool, you can eat there and take a break. You don't have to take a break from the action. You can just have a really high quality meal right there at the pool. Also, this becomes the venue for the White Night Party, which is an electronic dance music party, kind of like, this becomes like an Ibiza style beach club, if you will, where everybody wears white. There's a DJ there. You can see the LED walls at the back. They project different images throughout the party. This fills up. I mean, there were thousands of people at this party when we were on Toscana, and it goes until the wee hours of the morning. I don't know what time Skidge left. I had to leave early because I had to work the next day, but I did get a chance. I'm glad I left because otherwise I wouldn't have left until way too late. So the parties are a lot of fun on board. Here's an image of the Sole Mio Spa. This is one of the therapy rooms. Therapy treatments. This is the thalassotherapy. I don't know how you. I will not say. Yeah, touche. I saw that, Stephen, Tatiana. I won't say, I don't know how you translate thalassotherapy other than to say thalassotherapy, but it's a really huge hot tub, if you will, who has like salted water, really incredible experience in the spa. And then, being Italy's finest cruise line, we pair up with Italy's finest brands. A lot of what we do on Costa is, obviously celebrating Italian culture. Campari, there's a beautiful bar on board. It's actually a Campari bar. I actually happen to like Campari a lot. It's an acquired taste for some, but I actually like it quite a bit. And, we feature a Campari bar. You can see there all Campari cocktails, Campari being obviously a very famous Italian brand. So the Campari bar is available on board. My favorite spot was the Ferrari bar. This is the sparkling wine bar. They had like 4 or 5 different types of Ferrari sparkling wines made in the traditional method champenoise, the champagne method. So this is really high quality sparkling wine from Italy that tastes very much as good, if not better, than many champagnes or sparkling wines. This was my go-to spot before, after work, before dinner, after dinner, before breakfast. Just kidding. It doesn't open until the afternoon. So, but a really beautiful spot there. You can see, all the Murano glasswork, all the porcelain Italian tile, the finest Italian craftsmanship. It's a beautiful spot. The Heineken bar, Heineken and Bistro, not Italian, obviously, but Heineken, definitely a very well-known European brand. So we bring in different cultures from around Europe. And the Heineken Bistro is a bar, a live music venue. They have live bands. It's very much like a more American style bar, if you will. The menu is like bar food, but they have a really top-notch burger and steakhouse. Incredible. We were able to dine there one night during the cruise, and that was another highlight of the cruise. So the Heineken Bistro and steakhouse, and then last but not bar and bistro, excuse me. And then last but not least, Aperol. Aperol is another really well-known Italian brand, and this is located by the pool. And Aperol spritz, Aperol drinks are very refreshing. If you're out in the sun, you get a chance to grab a cocktail by the pool or sit at the Aperol bar. Really beautiful spot as well. So those are some of the examples of the brands we use on board. Nutella is on board. Gelateria Amarillo is on board. The finest Italian coffee houses are on board. Really, Italy's finest, Europe's finest. When you're always Aperol spritz, Daniela, I agree. So let's talk about some of the destinations, and then we will be wrapping up here. Tatiana mentioned, I was really happy to see that I think of the top 10 destinations, 7 were served by Costa Cruise Lines. So I was happy to see that. Dubai is a very hot destination. Not only a hot destination, but a very pricey destination. But on a Costa cruise, you're able to really take advantage of a week's cruise, 7 nights in Dubai for a very affordable price. And you do overnight in Dubai the first night. I will echo what Skid said. If you're going that far, or even if you're not going that far, giving yourself a day before, or even sometimes a day after, because of your flights not leaving, leaving very early and you don't want a chance missing your flight. Day before, certainly. Day after, possibly. Definitely a good idea to think about a day before and a day after and use that inStays tool. Why not? You're getting a great feature there, and you get to explore a little bit more. On the Costa Toscana, you will spend 1 night in Dubai. As I mentioned, one of the key pillars of Costa, longer stays in port, an overnight in Dubai, an overnight in Abu Dhabi. Tatiana, you know what movie they spent some time in Abu Dhabi? By the way, they're making a 2nd season. Anyway, inside joke. Doha, Muscat. Doha blew up. As we all mentioned, as Tatiana mentioned. So we get to see Doha. And the price for 7 nights on a Costa cruise is really comparable to what you may spend on a couple of nights in a hotel in Dubai. So this is a great destination. Toscana, which we just covered, will be doing this destination in 2023. She'll also be back in 2024. And there's a lot of great availability still available for Toscana in Dubai this season, which was the #1 destination. So I wanted to start with that. Toscana then, in the spring and summer, will transition to her Mediterranean itinerary. Again, the longest stopovers, over 12 hours in Ibiza, 11 hours in Naples, 8 hours in Valencia. This Valencia is a part of Spain that I did not get to know until I went on a Costa cruise. And I got to tell you, I love Barcelona. I also fell in love with Valencia. Beautiful, beautiful city. They're up there. They're like up there for me. It's just like you're in the middle of the city as you find in Barcelona. So it's very convenient. Maybe not quite as close as Barcelona, but really, really close. And these itineraries on the 7-night Western Mediterranean, most people will sail out of Rome, the flight to Rome. We spent a night before, a night after in Rome. Naples, We went to Pompeii in Naples. I had never been there before. Incredible historic site. I mean, just overwhelming, to be honest with you. And then in the summer, in June, July, and August, the Toscana Western Mediterranean itinerary will actually do almost an overnight in Ibiza. And it's one of the only cruises that allows you the opportunity to take advantage of Ibiza's nightlife. Really, really fun, one of the party capitals of the world. Valencia, as I mentioned, Marseille. I felt like a Frenchman when I was in Marseille. I bought a hat, a little flat cap in a French hat shop. I sat in Aix de Provence and drank rosé. So I definitely felt like I was a native. It was awesome. And then in Savona, as Tatiana mentioned, you can go to Genoa, which is a great city, only about 30 kilometers from Savona. But in Savona, you can also go to Monte Carlo, Cinque Terre, Portofino, Santa Margherita, Torino. Really amazing excursions in Savona as well. And then Rome, the Eternal City. I mean, I feel like I could spend a month in Rome and still not feel like I saw it all. So this is one of the Western Mediterranean itineraries, larger ships, Toscana, like I mentioned, over 5,000 passengers. Smeralda, her sister ship. Let's talk about Smeralda, because Smeralda, these are both the first ships to be propelled by liquefied natural gas. It's a very high-tech propulsion and environmentally and efficient and friendly propulsion system and substance. So we go back to the sustainability aspect, very important. Smeralda was launched at the end of 2019, operated for a few weeks, and then the shutdown. So she's practically brand new, both Smeralda and Toscana. Toscana was just launched last year, christened last year. That's the event that I was on for Wiskidge. And then Smeralda, practically brand new as well. This is a slightly different Western itinerary, Western Mediterranean, again out of Rome. But a lot of people will embark here in Barcelona. That's a really great option because you have Barcelona. You can do a pre and post there. You're right in the middle of the city. That port really, I will say, you're basically in the center of the city. Palma de Mallorca, again, great port. You just walk right off the ship. Palermo, Sicily, great food down there in Sicily, amazing history. And then again, this one calls on Marseille. So Southern Italian food is more like the red sauce is a spicy food, which is very indicative of Sicilian food. Northern Italians tends to be a little bit lighter fare, if you will. And 5 stopovers of 10 hours or more. We really want you to take advantage of the time that you have in these ports. And of course, I'm mentioning here the key itineraries. I could spend hours talking about the itineraries, but we're just mentioning some of the key Western Mediterranean, Eastern Mediterranean, Dubai, and then Northern Europe that I'll close with. For the Eastern Mediterranean, so this is when we're talking Eastern, we're talking more Greece, Croatia, to the east of Italy, Western Spain, Italy, France, to the west of Italy. And these cruises out of Venice are about 2,200 passengers, smaller ships, 3 Greek islands here, and Cephalonia, Mykonos, and Santorini, and overnight in Mykonos, again, longer stays in port, and stop in Bari in the south of Italy, which is in the region of Puglia. And you can also do an overnight here in Venice, pre and post. There's a great city to get to know before and or after your cruise. Actually, that's what I did when I went to Venice. I spent a couple of nights. Amazing food in Venice, amazing food in Italy, amazing food in Europe. So we really take advantage of, like I said, those 3 chefs have really taken advantage of some amazing culinary regions around Europe. And then let's talk about Northern Europe. This is the wrong image, but and so, sorry about that. We are no longer calling on that protocol, but here out of Kiel, but you can also embark in Copenhagen. And this is a Norwegian fjords cruise, Geringer, Helsit, Bergen, and Havsund. You can see there it's from what I understand, it's Norwegian fjords is comparable to Alaska, but times 100. I mean, it's a region of the world that really you cannot really see unless you're on a Costa cruise. on a cruise. And so this is really a great cruise. Now, because we're embarking in Kiel and Copenhagen, obviously you're going to be around a lot of Danish and German people. And that is true of Costa. We really are an international experience. You're going to be with the locals. So please do keep that in mind. Another itinerary, this is 10 days and 9 nights on the Baltics. And this sails out of Kiel again, Stockholm, a long stay in Stockholm, and then you have Estonia, Finland, and Visby and Utiga, both of the in the Baltics. This is another great experience, 9 nights, so a little bit longer cruise in Northern Europe, which the season starts right now. I mean, we're looking at starting the season May through about September. So now is the time to take advantage of booking a Northern Europe cruise. And there's also longer cruises, believe it or not, 15 nights out of Amsterdam. That's an incredible itinerary, which is also available. So I didn't put a slide on that for the interest of time, but also keep in mind there are cruises 7, 9, 15 nights in Northern Europe. So I want to thank you again for your time. Thank you for joining me. I hope I was good for the interpreters. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you, Skid. Grazie, merci, gracias, donka, obrigado. I forgot what else. Who am I? Oh, grazie. I think I covered them all. How do you say thank you in Russian, Tatiana?
Спасибо.
Spasiba. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Silvio.
Silvio.
Awesome to have you again and the update. And yeah, I mean, I've had the pleasure of sailing on both Toscana and Smeralda in 2022. And while same ship, some different experiences, and you know, the food is amazing for sure. And archipelago, pardon the butchering of the pronunciation, but yeah, that's probably the best 50 euros spent on food ever.
I have to agree. I really have to agree.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting Michelin chefs. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, look, it's almost an hour and 15 minutes. I want to make a couple quick announcements. Number one, we're working through a couple technical issues, but we're going to be highlighting and featuring some Dubai sailings on the Costa Toscana, and those will be bookable shortly, even less than 30 days prior to departure. So those of you who are looking to go still in Dubai in this season, Costa Toscana is going to be available for you to do that. Also, I want to share with you, I mean, because we keep running over in time, starting next month, we are going to have 2 insider advantages each month. And we're moving these to the 2nd and the 4th Thursday of each month. Again, starting in February, we will be moving every month our insider advantage to Thursdays. One will be on the 2nd Thursday. So I believe that's the 9th of February. Next, I don't have the calendar in front of me.
We'll have it on February 9th and then February 23rd.
Right. So this will allow us to cover more important news about the inCruises member benefits with inStays and cruises, and some deep dive into destination content, and have more of our cruise line partners, and to spend more time really immersing into all the great features, because this is the best way to get that information, right? For all of our members and new members. I sometimes forget to mention, we've had some record numbers of new members joining our organization. So for those of you, this is your first time, we're going to be giving you more starting next month, and have our partners like Silvio participating and giving you this information that's firsthand from the cruise line themselves. So mark it on your calendars. We'll be definitely sending out emails and notifications and social media about when these the next insider advantages are. Translators, thank you again so much. I appreciate the help.
Thank you.
And for those of you that stuck through the full hour and 15 minutes, thank you. We appreciate you and look forward to seeing you again in a couple weeks.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Silvio.
Thank you very much. Fun. Thank you.